Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Lauren Coleman, Monica Robinson, and look what the cat drug in. Chad Silber is back.
Special guest.
It had to be a big cat to drag me in, don't you
That's
think?
true. Very true.
Well, welcome to the show,
Thank you.
Chad.
Good to be back.
And welcome to you at home, whether you're watching on air, online, or the WFMY News 2 app, Fire Stick, or Roku.
So many places to watch us. Thank you for watching. We begin with developing news involving masks today. We have learned that they will still be required on some campuses in Greensboro despite the end of Guilford County's mask mandate. UNCG and North Carolina A&T will continue requiring masks both indoors and outdoors if people aren't able to stand 6 feet apart. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey got reaction from students today.
Yeah, Chad, North Carolina A&T and UNC Greensboro students told us they're happy about the decision to reverse the countywide mask mandate. Many told me today that this is a sign that things are headed in the right direction. However, some say they're not quite ready to take their mask off this semester or next.
I think that I'll continue to wear my mask as I go to class and, leave my room and do stuff like that. And, so I'll continue to wear my mask just to make sure that I keep other people around me safe.
I thought it was great. I'm just hoping the school lifts it as well, because if we're vaccinated, I don't believe we should be wearing masks.
As long as people, keep clean and sanitize, there should really be no problem or issue. And I wouldn't have a problem with that. Just get to see happy faces and smiles.
A&T officials told me today the county may have removed the mandate, but the university isn't changing much as for now.
Daily requirements around mask wearing in all indoor spaces on campus. That won't change, even with Guilford County making that change. As a member of the state university system, we're governed by the policies of the state.
Simmons went on to say that the university's percent positive sits at 2.4%, and they're working to get that number even lower. As of right now, both universities will require masks indoors in the upcoming spring semester, but that could change depending on the metrics.
Jalen, thank you. I want to show you something I've noticed in our state's coronavirus numbers. The last 3 days of percent positives have all been above the state's goal of 5%, 6.1, 7.8, and another 6.1. It's been nearly a month since we have seen 3 consecutive days above the red line. Yesterday's 7.8 was the highest number that we have seen in more than a month. The last time we surpassed that number was back on October 4th. It's not clear why this number is going up, but health experts warned that increasing metrics as the weather got colder and people started gathering more indoors. We will see what happens.
Governor Roy Cooper just finished a tour this afternoon in Winston-Salem. The governor visited St. Peter's Church and World Outreach Center. The Outreach Center is one of the state's family vaccination sites where guardians can get $25 gift cards for taking someone to get their vaccine. The state's gift card program runs until Thanksgiving. Clinic hours are Tuesday through Thursday from 2 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can register for the clinic by calling this number, 888-675-4567, or register online at myshot.nc.gov. While the governor tours child vaccination sites, the FDA is expected to make a decision on booster shots for everyone. The agency is expected to meet tomorrow to review Pfizer's request to use its booster shots for all adults. Pfizer says its data shows a third shot restores the effectiveness of the vaccine to its initial strength.
And while the FDA reviews that request, Pfizer submitted another request for its COVID-19 pill. The company says it's seeking emergency use authorization for the antiviral pill after data showed it cut the risk of hospitalization and death by nearly 90% in people with mild to moderate infections. When used, the pill is taken for 5 days after a positive test result. Another antiviral medication is already in use overseas. Britain approved Merck's coronavirus pill for adults who tested positive and have at least one risk factor for developing severe disease. Now, the pill is meant to be taken twice a day for 5 days by people with mild to moderate symptoms. Merck submitted its research to the FDA for approval. It'll review the data at the end of this month.
Breast cancer is the second most common cancer among women in the U.S. Regular breast screenings are the best chance for early detection. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist is now offering a new tool to better detect cancer. It's called contrast enhanced mammography. The imaging technique uses iodinated IV contrast in combination with a standard digital mammogram. The technology provides mammography images with better precision than a standard mammogram. It is performed at a lower cost to patients compared to an MRI while still providing accurate results. Doctors say it's especially useful for patients with dense breast tissue.
Right now, we're using it for patients that have a new diagnosis of breast cancer. If there's questions that come up on a standard mammogram, or also if you have a slightly increased risk of breast cancer and you have heterogeneously or extremely dense breast tissue. And if you don't know, if you haven't looked at a mammogram, dense tissue is basically the normal glandular tissue that shows up as white on a mammogram. And breast cancers also show up as white on a mammogram. So sometimes that dense breast tissue can hide tumors.
The Comprehensive Cancer Center at the hospital is the first in the region to offer this technology to patients.
I couldn't be more excited. I think all the radiologists and CNS are so excited. It's going to be a really good tool for our patients. We're the first ones in the area to have it, and if it had not been for COVID, we would have been a little sooner, but the fact that we've got it now, we're already finding patients that it's going to be really useful in, and we're really excited.
I should have asked for them to drop the super so you could see those images a little better there, but there really is a stark contrast there. And what this means is, so women that have dense breast tissue, they're at a higher risk for breast cancer, and it's also harder for radiologists to detect or find those tumors in those images. So this is just a helpful tool to better detect early stages.
And did I hear her say that it's less expensive, so then more women have access to
Absolutely.
this? Okay.
Yeah, that's one important thing that she also mentioned that's jumped out to me. I said, you know, access to healthcare is a big issue a lot of folks have, and when things are more cost efficient, less expensive for folks, it makes it so much easier. But I love how technology now is being put more into this healthcare field, where we're now putting on the brinks of new technology where people can get to things faster. I mean, even with my Mo and the Go series, I've met women who are in the medical field who are saying, hey, these new technology we're using to help people advance and get to know information faster. I mean, I know folks years ago would have been so grateful to have some of these resources today.
And I think this is also just a great reminder of we're no longer in October, but it's still important to get those breast cancer screenings, especially if you're 40 or have a history of breast cancer. You need to get those yearly screenings.
Well, and I know we had a story recently about how now they're working on a possible blood test that can detect cancer before it ever even develops, that you will get it eventually. So you get early detection like that, and it's a game changer.
Just amazing how technology has evolved.
Yeah, for certain. Even technology when related to weather, we're able to forecast things just a little bit more quickly, especially when it comes to severe weather. That's what I truly love. Now, when we talk about temperatures, today that is the main story, not severe weather at all, but the temperatures. It has been very warm across the triad. Some locations kind of right around what could be even a record breaker. Look at Burlington at 74 degrees, the record being 77, just 3 degrees shy of that. So it's a warm day, and the dew points have been on the increase. 50-degree dew points, feeling a little bit more moisture when you walk out the door, not that bone dry air, and that's all due to an approaching cold front making its way closer to the triad. We're already starting to feel impacts of it with these winds picking up across the area. Winds out of the south and west, with some of which breezier than others. You can see 14 miles per hour currently in Greensboro, but some of these wind gusts even greater than that, reading at 23 miles per hour. Whenever you're in the vicinity of a cold front, this is a clear sign those winds start to pick up ahead of the front as well as after it. So oftentimes you may see some cloud cover. If it's a dry cold front, you won't necessarily get some showers or storms, but the winds, a nice indication that some storms could be, a cold front, could be making its way through. Not necessarily seeing the storms, but the winds are a nice indication. Like I said, front on its way through the triad. We won't be expecting much rain, but what do cold fronts do? Bring in colder air. I'll tell you how cold it will get this weekend coming up. tough times can inspire us, motivate us, and help us find our passion. This week, I met a woman who is walking a path she never imagined, but hoped she's making her dad smile in heaven with the best smile, of course.
Things are going to happen when they need to happen.
A tough truth Dr. and Beck DeShield maids had to face.
Coming straight out of dental school, I was like, I'm by practice.
She first joined a local dentist's office as an associate with a plan.
The plan was to purchase his office, and at the end of that time, things changed. He didn't really want to sell his practice at that time. He wanted me to continue to be an associate. So close for me, open.
7 years later, Dr. DeShield Mays walks the halls of a practice she now calls her own.
You probably never imagined you'd be displaying them in your own practice.
Did not, but you know, I think bringing these kind of give patients a sense of who I am.
Whether she's in Greensboro or doing mission work internationally, Dr. DeShield Mays says she loves helping people. As a first-generation Liberian American, she says her trip to West Africa had the biggest tug on her heart.
It felt like I was coming home. Like I felt like I could bring something back to where my family started.
As a child growing up in Greensboro, she says she didn't dream of dentistry, but her dad did.
Tap, tap, tap. How's that feel? He passed away when I was 13 from a heart attack and a stroke. And that situation really drove me to make him proud, in a sense. He was in a vegetative state for like 9 months.
Dr. DeShield Mays says she was chasing a dream her dad planted in her, but is still motivated today to inspire other young children.
You are almost done there. Never thought about, being a doctor, but when he posed that to me, it always stuck. Maybe I could be a doctor. All right, you are good to go. But if you don't have that person or someone at your home maybe saying that to you, it's great to hear it from someone that might even look like you.
Dr. DeShield Mays was such a beautiful woman. One of the things that she brought up was how she wants to bring some of what she's doing here back to Liberia, where her family, where her roots are, because a lot of people, as you could imagine, in third world countries may not have access to the same resources we have here. So she wants to make sure that they have better oral health.
One of the things that inspired me about this story is she was talking about she wanted to purchase that practice, but it didn't happen for her at the time. It's just kind of a reminder of, be great in your current situation, work hard so you can prepare yourself when you're able to do the things you want to do.
And people forget sometimes that oral health is so important because it can lead to other problems.
Yeah.
If you let that go, I mean, it actually ends up being a bigger issue than just about your teeth.
And I always love when I see dentists and people in similar fields who are taking those talents, like you were saying, Monique, and helping other people, whether it's in a third world country or helping other people just in our area who need dental work and can't afford it. I love seeing that kind of stuff play out.
And I know we've done stories before when those dentists will get together and kind of offer up some free care. And when we interviewed people in line, how thankful they were that that was offered to them because it's out of their reach financially. And so we need to reach out more. That was pre-COVID, and we'll see when if that comes back or not.
Yeah, she said she had to wait 7 years, Lauren. I was going to let you know it was 7 years that she had to wait before she was able to finally get her own practice. You can imagine waiting for 7 years is a long time, but she said waiting made her stronger and better prepared for what she is now.
Yep, patience is a virtue.
Absolutely, good for her. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
We are on top of breaking news in Greensboro. There is a heavy police presence at an apartment
I'm here on Hilltop Road right now in Greensboro. You can see police blocking off Adams Farm Parkway behind me. All we know right now is that police are blocking the road off, and we do see a hazardous device team vehicle that is on the road right behind me. There is a church right across the street, and the folks there told me they did see an armored vehicle go into the area that's behind me. It's an apartment complex, and just a while ago I heard police talking to someone or multiple people through a megaphone, but we haven't heard anything from police about exactly what they're doing here. People are being
All right, obviously you're having some tech issues with that. You can get the latest on WFNYnews2.com. So every year, the Guilford Education Alliance sponsors this program. I heard about this, got to try it out. It's called Principal for a Day. It allowed me to pick the brain of a local principal and walk in their shoes for a while. So I had to sit down with Northern Guilford Middle School Principal Karen Ellis and to chat a little bit about how we're going to catch our kids up after the pandemic. It's fascinating what they're dealing with. Take a look.
So we're going to go into some quick breakout sessions because relationships matter for students and adults.
So let's talk about accelerated learning, because that year, obviously, is it inevitable that it puts kids behind? And if so, how do you fix that?
I think the difficulty with the pandemic in terms of learning was that students didn't necessarily get behind as much as they just didn't move forward at the same rate that they had always been learning. So we're really focused on accelerated learning, and not to move faster or to skip ahead, but just to keep moving forward. It's so important for students learning not to stop.
I'm Eric Chilton with WFMY News 2.
And he's here with me, Karen Ellis, at Northern Guilford Middle School, and we're looking forward to being able to highlight the great things of Northern and Guilford County schools today.
To me, it seems like that's not a fix in a year, right? It would probably take 2 or 3 to get, because that's a gradual increase, I guess.
Right. So to focus on the students' learning, to get them back on track and to make sure that they're prepared for the next course, the next year, is to have lots of conversations with teachers. What did our students experience last year? What did they need to experience this year, because we need to get them ready for the following years? So it's going to be a long process.
Emotionally, and I know middle school is kind of the time when people are becoming people, right? And emotionally, how did that year affect kids, and what do we do to fix that?
I believe students not being in school really impacted how they got along with each other, how much time they were spending by themselves. So for our students, it's been really important to teach them how to talk with one another again, how to get out in front of a screen, put the phones down and have a conversation with the person beside of you, and just learning how to be in community, how to have a partner conversation, and that it's okay. It's okay and it's needed to be able to talk to each other. So just having fun and recognizing that students are going to be heard, but we also need them to be comfortable talking.
So it's interesting in talking with her, and that's just a portion of our chat. One of the things she said is she loves teaching middle school, which God bless her, because that is a hard age to get into. But she said, I love this because this is the time when they're starting to develop who they are. It's the very beginnings of what you're deciding. And she said, and they have to navigate some rough roads. So that on top of the pandemic that set everybody back a little bit, because it's been difficult, but she's starting to see that progress.
You know, our teachers do so much, and the pandemic definitely brought that to the forefront. For you, how was it like walking in those shoes today? What was your biggest takeaway from this?
So it was interesting. We did, we did some serious stuff and talked with her, and then later you'll see us. We have some fun as well. But to watch how the kids react when she's beside me walking down the hall, and she knew, I would say 60% of their names. Oh. That's a school with nearly 800 students.
Wow.
She's very connected.
I see, and I just recently got a newfound appreciation for principals. I didn't really know my whole life really what they did. I just thought they were the boss of the school. But I recently learned that they also hire every single teacher that works at that school. I mean, you lose 15, 20 teachers in a year. They're responsible for hiring all those people. I mean, even just that, I was like, wow, that's impressive.
I'm the daughter of a principal, and my mom actually helped to open a school from the ground up. So getting the furniture in, the technology, hiring the teachers from scratch. So it took a whole year for her to get all that together.
Wow, thank goodness we had those people, because they make a big difference in our lives and our children's lives. We'll be right back.
ACT. It stands for Action Changes Things. Have you ever said to yourself, it's time to act, but then you don't? Today on U Day, Coach Lamont explains why the disconnect from the words to action truly exists.
Do you believe the words you speak to yourself, or is this something you struggle with? The reason you struggle, somewhere in your past, you've made promises to yourself and never acted on them. This developed a psychological pattern where you hear your own words but don't believe your own words. Your spirit has convinced you that the words you've spoken are empty and carry no action. Your spirit also believes you are all talk with no finish. Remember this, idle words lead to a disengaged spirit, which declares an internal war on your words. It stifles your action and causes inaction. You can correct this by simply breaking the pattern and becoming more intentional when you speak. If you say it to yourself, simply do it for yourself. Now's the time to prove your spirit wrong by doing what you say. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Happy Hump Day, folks, and welcome back. I'm Lauren Coleman with Eric Chilton and Monique Robinson and Chad Silver.
That's right. They let me come back. One day only. It's like a reunion tour, right?
You just keep finding your way
One
back
night
in
only.
here. But we love to have you here, so.
Well, thank you. I love being here. Thanks for watching on air, online, Roku, and Fire Stick. I can't wait to talk about the weather in just a bit because it's beautiful out there today.
It's really nice.
It's been absolutely gorgeous, but we have another big story we want to get to. Now to a story that's captured a lot of attention on our website. A Greensboro woman found a man's ashes in the trash on the sidewalk. She doesn't know where they came from or why they were even there, but WFMY News 2's Grace Holland heard about their mission to find the man's loved ones.
He's inside of this box.
Melissa McKinney carefully handles this cremation urn for a man she and her goddaughter never met.
It was just kind of weird, like, out of all the things you could find.
Shayna Montague says she was driving through a Greensboro neighborhood looking for a new home.
Because she's displaced from her own home. This is how it all began. she's trying to find a home for her and her children.
But instead, she found something else in the trash while looking for a rental.
I thought it was a money bag, but it wasn't. It was Mr. Oscar, and I just kept him with me. To me, I don't think you should just throw people away. I don't know if they meant to throw him away.
She's taken the ashes of Oscar Sherwin Tabb with her everywhere since discovering him.
It's like as soon as I picked him up, good stuff started happening. I got free ice cream from McDonald's, you know. I found $20 on the ground. I was like, Oscar, you good luck. And we ain't even no kin, but I'm your friend, Oscar.
She is hoping to return him to his actual family.
Y'all probably think I'm crazy, but you know what? To me, this is a real sentimental thing, and this is amazing. If you got him cremated and kept him for so many years, obviously he was special to someone.
There are a few clues on Tabb's box. It says he died in January 2014 and lists Allen & Associates Mortuary in Greensboro. I spoke to someone from the mortuary who told me records going back even a couple of years can be hard to find. An online obituary lists a Greensboro man by the same name and says a service was held at Love and Faith Christian Fellowship Church. The church told us they have no record of that funeral. Now, Montague and her godmother are hoping that getting the word out will help them find his family.
I don't know the kind of person he was, but what I know is I'm in hopes that once you all reunited, that it brings you some type of peace to know that he was taken care of once we found him.
They say if they can't find his family, they'll have a burial in the hopes of putting his spirit at rest. In Greensboro, Grace Holland, WFMY News 2.
What an incredible story. And we also have an update on this story. We have learned that the family members of Oscar, they saw this story and reached out to us and the women, and they found their ashes. So they're now in the process of getting those ashes to Oscar's family.
It's incredible.
I mean, what a great story. You know, and I just think about all the people who would see something that maybe looks like ashes in the trash and not do anything about it. You know, and then these two women saw it and knew that there was something they had to do about it.
And you think about, I mean, Chad's right, because it just looks like a nondescript box. If you don't take the time to actually look at that and read, what the heck is this? They may have never found that.
And you can just tell that those women have such great hearts. And I'm a firm believer of if you do good things to other people, good things will come back to you. So I just love that they were able to keep this, and they were determined to try to get it to the right place. And if not, you know, do a proper burial for him.
And it doesn't take much anymore with social media and with us and with the media to get some answers. So.
And look at the good things started happening. She got free McDonald's ice cream. She found $20 on the ground. So hey, thank you, Oscar, for being the good luck charm.
He was a lucky man.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up, Buckingham Palace shared a video of Queen Elizabeth II holding a meeting at her home in Windsor Castle. Now, this is a big deal because it's the first time the Queen has been seen since she sprained her back. Today's meeting is also the Queen's first in-person engagement since last month. Another lawsuit is pending in the Astro World Festival chaos. The lawsuit claims gross negligence and argues there were multiple failed attempts to stop the chaos from unfolding before people lost their lives. The suit seeks $750 million in damages against multiple defendants, including headliner Travis Scott. Apple Music and other companies who benefited financially from the festival are also named in that suit. Duke basketball player Paolo Banchero played in last night's game, even though he was recently cited for his role in a DWI case. Banchero was a passenger in the car when police pulled over Coach K's grandson, Michael Severino. Banchero faces a lesser charge while Severino faces DWI. Coach K said he allowed Banchero to play because it was two different situations. Severino did not play last night. It's unclear if or when he'll return to the court. One of 3 men accused of chasing down and killing Ahmaud Arbery took the stand today in his murder trial. Travis McMichael's attorney tried to frame McMichael as someone who felt responsible in protecting his neighborhood after a series of break-ins. Arbery was shot and killed in Georgia while out for a jog. Police arrested the 3 men last year after that video surfaced.
So we have high pressure in place, and when you hear high pressure, you generally expect nice weather And some folks say, well, today in fact included nice weather. When we have high pressure situated like this just off the coast, we get these winds out of the south and west. Coming out of the south and west, we get warmer temperatures and a little bit of a bump up in humidity. Now, it won't last for too long. You feel it tomorrow, but the cold front crosses the area late Thursday, bringing in the chance of some spotty showers. Not looking for a very wet Thursday evening. Clearing out by Friday, but then bringing in the chilly air. Now, another high pressure system comes in. Now, some folks will call this weather nice, but you also got to tack on the word cold with it. Nice cold weather. We have nice warm weather today. A little bit of a different story. So tonight we're dropping down to upper 40s. It's a little bit different as compared to last night and even the night before. We had temperatures in the 30s, kind of dancing around that freezing point of 32 on some nights. Now tomorrow we're going to be warming up again by the afternoon into some 70s, and then we'll quickly fall in the evening. Now the evening is when a little bit more cloud cover will start to increase, and then expecting a potential chance for some showers, but overall not significant rainfall totals. In fact, most of the rain will stay just over the Appalachian, and then as it crosses over, most of it will get wrunged out, and then we won't really get to see much. So don't expect too much rain on Thursday, but do expect cold weather to arrive Friday and stick around for quite a while. I'll have the 7-day coming up before this 4 p.m. hour ends.
What is this? Okay, Tyler Phillips from the U.S. Pogo team trying to jump over the most consecutive cars on a pogo stick, friends.
I was like this.
I know, I was like, so you just watched history happen because he set a Guinness World Record.
That is
Look at that.
Really awesome.
I know, right? Isn't that cool? And like, who thinks to do that? Now, not everything goes as planned. In fact, I'm going to show you a not so great attempt, but I want to let you know ahead of time, the person is okay. So here we go. Let's show it to you. All right, so what he's doing is he's attempting the farthest backflip between two horizontal bars and... Ooh! But he's okay. He's okay. All right, so he's going to try it again. And let's put it on the big screen. You might want to move out of the way so everybody can see. Okay, so here we go, right? So he's winding up, and he's winding up, and he goes. Woo! Yay!
Nice.
Okay.
Great job.
Today marks the 18th annual Guinness World Records Day.
Guinness World Records Day is a global celebration of record breaking. It's a chance for anyone who wants to tick off getting their name in the famous Guinness World Records books. It's a chance for them to have a go and maybe succeed and become officially amazing.
Don't we all want to be officially amazing?
Sure,
Yes,
in some
I would
capacity.
love that.
Okay, what are you going to do for your Guinness Book of World Records?
What could you do?
What could you do?
I could make the biggest pie.
Make the
Oh,
biggest
that
pie. I
might
like
work.
it. Okay, I like it. Why not?
Why not? What about you?
That might work. I would like to see if I could continuously juggle like throughout most of my day and still work.
Can
like,
you
still get-
juggle?
I can.
Oh, okay.
Impressive.
So, did you know that the Guinness World Records got their start from Guinness Brewery?
Oh, I did not know
It
that.
actually is tied to Guinness beer. So let's check out the history right here. In the 1950s, the managing director of the Guinness Brewery attended a party where the group was arguing about the fastest game bird that they could, shoot with a gun. There was no reference book for that kind of item, so he hired fact-finding researchers to compile a book of facts and figures so that pub arguments could be settled. And now, you too can apply to set a record. It has to go through this whole process. I kind of put it up here for folks to look at, but there's like a whole bunch of things that you have to do to see if you can set that world record.
I've heard you got to have media coverage and document it and all that. I mean, it's a lengthy process.
It is a lengthy process. It's not a, hey, I'm just going to do this and
Right.
someone's going to videotape it and it's going to be fine.
I mean,
go ahead.
I was going to say we should think of something as a team that we can do.
Set a world record.
We tried to do high five one time. We couldn't. Was it high five that we did?
Yeah, it was.
We couldn't
It was
get
the high
everybody
five.
together.
That's right. Yeah, in a park we tried to do that.
Yeah, a lot
at
of
like
people.
LeBauer Park and
Yep.
stuff like that. But you needed like thousands more, I think, than we had. So, all right. Even if you're not setting world records, friends, be officially amazing today.
So earlier in the show, I told you about the Principal for a Day program in Guilford County Schools, so I had to try this out. After all, my father was in education his entire career, from a teacher to a principal and eventually a superintendent, so it's in the bloodline, right? Yeah, right. Here's what happened when the principal, Karen Ellis of Northern Guilford Middle School, handed me the keys. All right, here we go. I'm going to be principal for a day. Miss Ellis, what do I do?
So, Mr. Chilton, you've got this. You need the keys. You need the radio. These 800 kids are yours.
Well, if I'm principal, I want to check out each grade. This is the 6th grade hall right here. Oh no. Oh, there's lots of kids. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. Okay, fast walking is good. No running. No running, people. Is that good? Am I supposed to say that? Be nice to each other, for goodness sake. So who's on this thing?
You have access to the whole school, but give Mr. Moore a call.
Is he your assistant principal?
He's one of my assistant principals.
Mr. Moore, this is Eric Chilton from WFMY News 2, Principal for a Day. Can you read me?
Yes, sir.
I have such power. All I really care about is when is lunch. All right, so what do I have to do here?
So it's lunchtime and the kids are coming. Let's open the cafeteria.
They're coming right now?
They're coming right now.
Oh no. How many kids go to the school?
870.
They're all coming to eat.
Right now.
I can't get it to, oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Easy
okay,
was
Eric.
that? Oh my gosh. Well, I can tell you that I cannot do this. I can't be responsible for 800 kids. I relinquish control back to you.
Well, thank you, but you're welcome anytime. But maybe just next time as a parent, a volunteer, a community member, I'll do the principal.
A lot better. Can I be a student for a day?
Absolutely.
All right, that I'll do. Better take that nameplate back. So in all honesty, when she said I really do have to, open the cafeteria, and I know we were joking around a little bit, but I couldn't do it. She did it, and she goes, "No, there are 800 children coming right now. You've got to get that open." And I looked down the hall, and here they come.
They were just running towards
you. Almost got plowed over by a couple of them early
6th
on.
graders were brutal. No, it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. So I asked you on Facebook, and I couldn't wait to hear what people would say with this, is if you were the principal, then what would you do? Let's take a look at their answers real quick. Frida said, if I had time to prepare, we would have a mental health day for everybody. No schoolwork, no homework, no office work. Every class would have a day full of food and fun. They're just letting kids run amok is what they were doing, because Barbara said early dismissal. Michelle said give the kids a recess or extra recess. Rita just said, oh, skip school. Just forget the whole thing. Take a day off. And then Willie, he was like, I don't know if I can do this. He said, I would call on the Lord. Because Willie said, no, I don't know if I can swing that.
I don't want those problems.
What would you guys do?
Well, not what I did today. It was interesting because she said to me, she actually asked me the question, she goes, what if you really, I know you don't know how to be a principal, but what would you do? I said, I would visit classrooms. And she said, that's exactly what I do. So she goes in, and when I said she knew 60-70% of their names, she really does. And that's why. She goes and sits in, no pressure on the teachers, I'm sure, when the boss goes in.
Right.
But she spends time hanging out with these teachers.
I love that.
I
That's
do too.
great. What would you do?
I think I would try to do, but obviously this would be a larger scale, but you know that teacher that had like a secret handshake with every
do like a
single
dance
student?
and stuff?
Yes,
I love that.
probably would try to do something like that.
That's fun.
Well, that's way cooler than what I was thinking. I missed nap time from when I was in kindergarten, so I would have a mandatory nap hour. Because I think everybody can benefit from that. Yeah.
Don't you remember when they have you roll the mats out and you had to lay down? I could never sleep.
Me neither. Your eyes are just
slept. I
like
just lay there.
talking to other people.
Right.
And they're like, shh, time out, no recess.
So when you guys were kids, did you have like a favorite thing about school? Just in general?
I just love being able to see my friends. I love making good grades.
Yeah.
I just love school, and when I was sick, I would feel really sad about it. I really enjoyed school.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
My daughter, she's like the only one of my 4 kids that would be like, I don't get to see, Miss So-and-so today, or I don't get to see my friends, and the boys are like, whoa, I'm sick.
So did you actually get to eat lunch today?
No, I did not. I had to leave right before, but I did ask him when is lunch, and then the assistant principal was 11 o'clock sharp, but we had to leave shortly after that. She did say something funny. The principal said, because I said there are always funny names for foods and school menus, right? She said, well, we had one at school where we used to work, and it said Fiesta Boli, B-O-L-I, or Boli, and she said, I just thought they misspelled bowl, like it was a Fiesta bowl. She goes, no, it was a real thing, and she goes, I'm still not sure what's in it, but the kids love it.
Really?
It's like a taco salad kind of thing.
Oh, I was thinking like Stromboli or something like that.
Fiesta Boli, whatever
oh,
that is.
That sounds good.
I always was a pizza guy. I
Me
loved when
too.
they had the triangle.
Yeah,
or the
rectangular
yes, those
pizza.
were the best. Yeah.
I always was excited when they had French toast for lunch. I would do double lunch on those days.
You did double lunch.
You're a breakfast for dinner kind of gal.
I am. I love breakfast. All day, folks. All day.
It's all about it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Stay there.
Pet owners love treating their pets. Some treat their pets to table scraps, but not all foods are safe for dogs. The American Kennel Club says it's safe to give Fido sweet potatoes, pumpkin apple without seeds, turkey meat without the bones or skin, and green beans. You don't want to give them mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, or ham.
As you know, Thanksgiving is all about the bird, but I wanted to know what your favorite side dish is. I asked you on Facebook. Mine is sweet potato casserole. Janet says, well, she agrees. A crunchy, sweet, nutty cinnamon topping is a must for that sweet potato casserole. Don't forget the marshmallows. Patty says corn casserole. Janet says green bean casserole. Sherry says broccoli and cheese casserole. I think there's a theme here. Amanda says cream potatoes, no gravy though. Ronnie says macaroni and cheese, and Teresa says dressing with gravy. So now it's your turn, guys. What is your favorite?
I love some baked macaroni and cheese.
Ooh,
3 cheeses.
3 cheeses.
Or 5 cheeses. But it has to be baked.
All the cases.
Why would you even pick 3 cheeses if you could have 5 cheeses, right?
All
Very
the
true.
cheeses.
So for me, it's mashed potatoes and gravy and mac and cheese. Those are my 2 favorites. I mean, by a long stretch. Everything else is a distant second.
Okay.
Mac and cheese and yams, and when they start kissing on the plate, I mean, and it goes into your mouth, I mean, it's just delicioso.
That's great. Okay, now how about a worst side? Your worst favorite side or your least favorite side?
The cranberry sauce, why do y'all pull that out?
I like
don't
cranberry
get
sauce.
I don't like it either, Monique.
Oh, you guys are in the minority.
I love it.
I mean, I'll eat it, but I don't like it. The one I hate that I cannot eat, even as a kid and all the way through adulthood, is green peas. I can't do green peas.
Okay.
And I've said this on the air before. I'm not a friend of collards, or a fan of collard greens. I just can't do it.
We also have a theme here, like a green theme, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, green beans, they're okay, but if, they're like, the real estate in your stomach on Thanksgiving is very valuable. You don't want to be wasting it on food that is just kind of right?
Do you do the casserole? Will you do green bean casserole?
Yes,
I could do green bean casserole, but just
don't do
plain old
casseroles.
green beans,
I like a sweet potato casserole too.
No
That's pretty
casseroles
good.
for me.
my
Last
goodness.
Thanksgiving, my mom couldn't find the marshmallows and she tried to do granola. I don't know what was happening. So I don't do casseroles at all.
I love all casseroles.
Oh, that's great. Monique, do you have a weather forecast to share?
Yes, I do have a weather forecast. I wish I knew what the weather would be like next weekend, but I can just tell you what you're going to see over the next couple of hours and days. So you can see here, rain moves through late Thursday night and then quickly clears. If you can see that timestamp way in the corner, by Friday morning, we're starting to see a break in the clouds, so that activity moves through fairly quickly. Behind it, we will get some breezy winds, but like I said, not too much rainfall. I mean, some locations across the Triad won't even tack on any, but for the most of us, we just have a trace of rainfall. Greensboro at 0.01 inches, barely even rain at all. So we're not expecting too much rainfall with this cold front, but we are expecting to see colder weather. Haven't yet to show that 7-day, but here you have it. Colder numbers after Thursday. Thursday is the only 70 on the forecast.
For the federal government to revise that policy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a little mic check for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hi there, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check.
I'm so sorry, 1 second. So they need a mic check from me here. We are getting ready for the 5 o'clock. Can you hear me? We are out here at the Second Harvest.
Hey, I sent back some video, not obviously for this hit, but just so you guys have it. It'll be coming in a few.
There's no time to be bored in a world as beautiful as this. I'm not sure who is the originator of this quote, but certainly is worth more than words on a t-shirt or a poster board. Through the years, I've discovered happiness and joy can be found in the little things. You don't need an entourage or attend some huge event to have fun. Every morning on my way to the gym, I drive past this walking trail off Adams Farms Parkway in Greensboro. I've always wondered where it led, but never took the time to walk it myself. This past Saturday, the weather was absolutely beautiful, but I didn't have plans for that afternoon. I thought, there's no way I can let this day slip away by staying inside binging shows on Netflix and Hulu. I got myself up off the couch and decided to walk that trail. And my oh my, I was in for a big surprise. About an hour into my walk, the trail led me to this beautiful lake. There were fountains and trees with leaves changing color ever so beautifully. I stood over the water on this tiny bridge, taking in the fall breeze. I felt happy and at peace. This hidden gem reminded me of the trails I would often walk at Shelby Farms Park when I lived in Memphis, Tennessee. Had I not gotten off the couch, I may have never found this sacred place. There is beauty and entertainment all around us. You just have to look for it. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFNY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Breaking